What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another day. Another day. I am back. You are back. We are back for another player prop live stream. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope the stream finds you all in good spirits. We're one day away. We're one day away. It feels like a national holiday or something. We're one day away from the return of NBA regular season basketball. I don't know about you, but I am 100% ready for this. I am done with college basketball. I am done with esports. I am done with soccer tacos. I'm done with all that. Just done. I'm ready for some familiarity. I'm ready for some player names that I know. I'm ready for some player prop breakdowns that I can feel good about. So since tomorrow is the return of NBA, I think we're gonna start breaking down some NBA plays in today's live stream. What do y'all think about that? I think y'all might be ready as well. We are ready to go. So if you're a member of the Discord, then I gave out the agenda for this morning stream. Gonna go about an hour today. Breaking down plays, turd of the day, plays of the day, you name it. If you want to lock in a play of the day for tomorrow, if you feel the line's going to move, we can lock that in and call it a play of the day. And hopefully that works out for us. But we got a lot to cover in today's stream, so let's just get to it. We got 11 people on stream. Appreciate y'all being here. Drop a like on your way in. Means a ton. What is going on, Alien? ATM, good morning. Carrie, good morning. Big Icy, what is going on? Good morning. Javier, good morning. Alien says, I think I got a sneaky NBA play for tomorrow. All right. Hopefully not too sneaky. You can share it. Carrie, yes, college basketball. What a disappointment. And a lot of these plays. Encore, Ruben, what is going on? Good morning. Yeah, we're ready. We're ready for this. Anybody got a turd of the day they want to share? I mean, everybody should have at least two with the tacos. If you played the two tacos, the esports and the soccer taco, those were very disappointing. Unfortunately, they did not go over. We had the hockey, the NHL goalie saves that did hit, so that was great. That was about the only slip that I played that hit. And I did go ahead and exercise my protected play yesterday. I just wanted my promo funds so I can use them. I didn't throw slop out there. I did the best I could, but it didn't hit. So unfortunately, those didn't hit. The 3-player props that we talked about yesterday did hit. We'll get into those in a second. But any turds of the day, any turds for y'all that are worthy of this title? Yeah, pretty much every college player prop yesterday was a turd. Kevin Fiala, turd of the day. I didn't double check my slip. I did have him in one slip. He was a later game. So when I went to bed or when I started alone, he had not started his game. So that was unfortunate. He didn't hit. Yeah, a lot of plays didn't hit yesterday. So I think the turd of the day for sure. We can agree. Nico and I got to look up this esports player's name. I want to give him the respect that he doesn't deserve. But we had Nico Schlotterbeck, did not go over, and Saya, it ain't so. His ass didn't hit. He had 2 map 1-2 kills yesterday. He needed 4. So Saya didn't get it done. Nico didn't get it done, but our boy Adin Hill got it done yesterday. So I guess not a whole lot to celebrate yesterday. Ruben said he goes 1-1 on NHL. Can't complain. Hey man, Take it. Tennessee as a team, the whole damn Tennessee Volunteers basketball team is a turd. What's going on, ROK? Good morning to you. The whole damn team, diarrhea of the day. Yeah. All right. Let's move on. Let's talk plays today. Let's talk new plays today. So, as I mentioned earlier in the intro, we got NBA on the horizon. It is within grasp, within arm's reach. We can start breaking these down. We've pretty much been breaking NBA plays down all week. I didn't expect us to be able to fill up an hour, let alone an hour and a half the past couple of days without NBA, but we got it done. So today should be no different. We should have plenty to talk about with the NBA on deck. So I already see some player props in the chat. Real quick though, yesterday I talked about 3 player props that I like. We opened up the stream with Poria over his kills, 14 kills. He goes over that. Strome over his points. He went over that. And then we talked about Omar Stankley going over his 6.5 rebounds. All 3 of those hit. Now, I wasn't gonna play my protected play yesterday. I was gonna wait till Thursday, but then I thought I kind of want those promo funds, regardless if it's the protected funds or the full amount. Kind of want those to play, going into Thursday. So I decided to play a slip, and I didn't play all 3 of those in the same slip as I should have. And had I just would have thrown those 3 in there with Jack Hughes over his shots on goal, that would have clean swept the 4-pick power. So that was a huge mistake on my end. So rather than getting $920 in promo, I got my 92. I'll take my 92. I'll try to turn that $92 into 9,000 real dollars. That's the goal. Always the goal. Turn those promo funds into real money. Don't complain that it's not real money. Don't expect Prizepicks to give you real money. They're going to give you their version of money. They're going to give you their currency, but turn their currency into your currency. That should always be your goal. So we're going to talk about Prizepicks today. Again, as we talk about in every live stream, if you have other player props on if you have player props on different pick'em sites, throw them in the chat. Yesterday, we looked up a couple that were only on Underdog, and we can break them down just the same on props.cash. It does not always have to be Prizepicks. So if you have a play on any other pick'em site, throw it in the chat, and we'll break them down together. But I'm pulling up Prizepicks right now. You know the struggle bus today with the Wi-Fi. I got a flyer in the mail from AT&T. They're about to upgrade to fiber at no cost. They'll just upgrade everybody's shit to fiber. So I'm pretty excited about that. I'm pretty excited about having functioning Wi-Fi, since I use it pretty much every day. So hopefully we won't be experiencing too many more issues with the Wi-Fi, but bear with me as you've done so far. I appreciate that. If you're just joining the stream, we've talked about turds of the day. We're getting ready to break down some plays over on Prizepicks, Underdog, wherever you want to play your props. Let me know. We can take a look at that prop together over on props.cash. That's what we use every single day to break down our player props. So without further delay, let us transition over to the Prizepicks board and let us see what is going on today. It would be pretty dope if Prizepicks did allow some sort of incentive for those dirty tacos yesterday, but I wouldn't hold a breath over that one. If you're just hitting us up, hit that like button on your way in. It means a ton, truly does. All right, so listen, we got hockey. Hockey's not been bad for us, right? This week, I would say hockey has actually performed a lot better than I thought it would, being that I'm not a hockey aficionado. I don't know much about it, but with your help, we're talking about some good plays, and Kerry talked about that that Robertson shots on goal got bumped up to 3. He did push it at 3, but he didn't go under. Pretty much every hockey prop we talk about on this show seems to be performing very well. So I think hockey's in play. Hockey might be in play moving forward. We might have added some value to our streams with some hockey plays. As always, we got NBA, and we still have NBA Season 2 props. I don't know if you guys are playing the NBA Season 2 props. You got 34 hours to exercise that Jokic prop if you want to jump on that one. He could very well get this done first game back from All-Star break. So you may not have to wait very long for the over on this one, but I would assume he gets you at least one 30-point game. Or not even 30-point game. He gets you 1 point basically. He definitely will hit this. The next game. So wait, am I reading this wrong? My eyes are bad. Okay, yeah. So he needs 0.5. For a second, I thought that was 0.5 points. So scratch that. He does need at least one 30-point game. He could probably get that done within the first few games of coming back, but that's on the board. So where do we want to start today? You all let me know. Let me scroll up through the chat, make sure I didn't miss anybody as they come in. And also let's figure out where the first player prop was dropped so we can start adding some plays to the board and start digging in to some props today. Gonna do my best to keep this stream in or around an hour today, but we can get a lot done in an hour. So I think the first one I'm seeing is from ATM. He has his Gaudreau over 0.5 points, Girage over 0.5 points, and Matheson over 0.5 assists. So let me know, ATM, are these over on Prizepicks or Underdog? We'll find out here in a second, but let me know what pick'em site you guys are playing on. So it looks like that Johnny Gaudreau is over on Underdog because we're not seeing it on Prizepicks. Let's pull up Girage. That's 0.5 points. We got that one. So you like the over on that one. We got Matheson over 0.5 assists. Take a look at that one as well. All right. So it looks like Matheson and Girage are over on Prizepicks, and I believe the Gaudreau is on Underdog, or not Prizepicks. So we got those two going on. Scrolling down. What's going on? DF the God. That college and hockey has killed me. Hockey's been better than NCAA, though. I gotta say, man, college basketball has been pretty brutal this week. Let's see. What's going on, Jim? Good morning to you. Salute and blessings to you as well. JR, what is going on? The Paint Connect, what's going on? Good morning. I don't think I've seen you here before. I don't think I've seen you in the chat. Welcome. Appreciate you being here. Sixo, what's going on? Gilbert, good morning. Yeah, Big Icy. At least we got $92 in promo credit. Got that going into the week, so we're good. Unfortunately, we can't use those promos to play our protected slip, which will be pretty dope. They should allow that to make up for the taco. That'd be pretty cool. All right, we already got our first Encore. I want to get Comcast. Comcast, this part of Austin does not operate with Comcast. It's through AT&T and Spectrum. If I see one more damn Spectrum commercial, I might just jump over to them. I think that might be a sign from the universe to sign up with Spectrum. Alien says fiber optics is the shit. Well, I hope so, because it's been shit so far with this regular ass Wi-Fi. All right, so we got Jaden Ivey. It's our first NBA player prop for today. I'm excited about NBA being back. 16.5 points, like the over on that one. Yo, Essence, yeah, we can do CVV. Listen, college basketball, I think as a whole, has been pretty brutal this week, but there have been some plays, Omar Stankley, I know that's not his last name, but when I talk about Omar Stanley, I'm going to call him Omar Stankley. He did go over rebounds. We talked about that yesterday. But guys like TJ Bamba and Baba Miller, these guys had huge odds and great numbers, and they fell super short of their prop. Another one that I was on yesterday. I'm trying to find it now. Tyson Walker over his threes. That game between Michigan State and Iowa. There have been a couple. Yeah, we can definitely talk college basketball props for sure. And if you play on any books, I mean, if you're playing money lines and things like that, unfortunately, here in Texas, I don't have access to books. I can only play pick'em sites. So I would love to get more into the other side of the world in terms of sports betting. But right now, it's player prop pick'em sites for me. Jim says he went 4 out of 5 on his last slip. Nice, man. Was that the scared money don't make no money slip, man? You went 4 out of 5 on that one? ATM says Underdog's been treating you lovely. That's nice. Yeah, Underdog offers a different value, man. If you're not on Underdog, if you're only playing on Prizepicks, you don't realize how different it is out there. For sure. It's like moving to a new neighborhood and shit. You're like, oh damn, it's different. Let's see. Joel Armia over 1.5 shots on goal, says Encore. So let's I tell you what, let me read this next one real quick, because actually no, we're gonna I didn't realize we had a few different NBA player props, so I want to make sure I get this NHL in before we go NBA. So we got Joel Armia, 1.5 shots on goal. Unfortunately, Ruben, he is not on Prizepicks. So if you're playing, got bumped up to 2. You want to still look at it at 2? We can do that. You want to play the bump on that? We can take a look at that. Now we're starting to get some NBA plays. Victor over 3s. Alien says, let me put this on the screen. Sneaky play was Mo Wagner over 6.5 points. Those are season breakdowns. 6 in his last 7. Matchup with the Cavs, aggressive with his minutes. That makes a little sense too, because the Cavs run a pretty big front court. So I would assume that now you have him and Isaacs in the mix along with Wendell Carter Jr. So you have a pretty big front court to match the bigs in Cleveland now. So that makes a little sense. Sengun over rebounds. You got Wes Broom over 3.5 assists. Is Wes Broom a college player, or did you mean Westbrook? The big money prop didn't hit. Shake my head. Okay, got you, Jim. Gotcha. It'll hit one day, man. You know it. All right, I don't know if Wes Broom is an actual like name, or if you just call Westbrook Wes Broom. Is there no college basketball today? That was weird. There you go. No. So I guess you're referring to Westbrook. All right, let's start putting in some NBA plays in here. We got a couple more spaces, and then we'll take this over to props.cash. If you have any interest in using props.cash for your own research, sign up using my promo code THANKS25. You'll get 25% off your first month. It's that simple. If you don't like it after your first month, you can leave it alone. At least you save some money on that first month. But I guarantee you that having something to help you with your research is going to make you it's going to make you more profitable in the long term. It definitely will. No matter how smart you are or we are, sometimes we're just not smarter than Vegas. We need a little edge. We need a little help. So pick up something. Pick up a resource to help you. It doesn't even have to be props.cash. Just make sure you got something to help you out. All right, we got Wemby's threes. Let's take a look at Mo Wagner. We got the over on his points. Yeah, if you're unfamiliar with Orlando, they got the Wagner brothers. So they have 2 Wagners, Mo and Franz. I believe Franz is the younger. Mo's been in the league for a while. I remember when he was on the Lakers. Alien, they took him off the board. That took Mo off the board. So if you can find it on another pick'em site, or did you play it on Prizepicks and then they took it off the board? All right, let's talk about the next one we'll talk about is Sengun, and then we will take these 6 over to props.cash and start breaking them down. So we have Juraj over 0.5 points. We have Michael Matheson over 0.5 assists. Ivy over points. Armia, we're going to take a look at his shots on goal. Ruben liked it at 1.5. It's got bumped up to 2. We'll take a look at it now at 2. Wimby over 3s. And then Sengun over his 8.5 rebounds and assists. Let's head on over to props.cash. Yeah, and if you're new to props.cash, or if you're not sure about props.cash, every live stream we use this in real time. So you get kind of a tutorial, props.cash 101, if you will. You get to see it in real time here. So another good reason to tune in to the live stream. All right, let's take a look at NHL first. We got 2 NHL player props on the board, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Oh, we got an even split. We got 3 NHL and 3 NBA. So, all right, we're going to start from the top. We're going to start with this Juraj 0.5 points, Montreal Canadiens versus the Buffalo Sabres. Are they still the Buffalo Sabres? So we're looking at his points today. So a point can be racked up in NHL by scoring a goal or an assist. There are 2 people involved on an assist. So you have like the setup, then the actual person who assists the score. So you can be any one of those dudes in that trio and rack up a point. So it gives you more upside for your player prop here. So Juraj is coming in at -130 to the over. I mean, dude, 8 straight games of the over at least 1 point. 100% over his last 5 games. Now his games against Buffalo aren't pulling up anything, so it looks like there aren't any stats to talk about with him. He's not performing all that well against Buffalo. If you want to take a look at his points today, they are projected for 0.69, so that is closer to 1 than it is to 0. So this one looks good. Good odds, good game logs, good projection. I think the only thing you might be concerned about is his performance versus this team. But if you want to factor that out, everything else looks good. Odds across the board look really good. So it's 0.5 everywhere else, and you're getting -130 to -135 to the over. Oh, was he DJ? What's going on, DJ? I don't think I've seen you here before. Good morning. Welcome in. I'll go back and check out Mo if he was there. He and his brother look like twins, so it's possible I just zoomed over him. But we'll take a look at him over on props.cash. Let's just add him in there, and we'll take a look at him when we start breaking down the NBA plays. So there's Juraj over 0.5 points. We like the over on that one. All right, who else? We got Mike Matheson. Take a look at his assist, and then we'll take a look at Joel Armia. Actually, scratch that. I didn't realize Joel Armia was on in the same game. Is he not? Yeah, Montreal. He's not on this board, so we will skip him for now. Let's go to Matheson. We're looking at Matheson's assist. So that's sitting at 0.5 today. Minus 120 to the over, minus 110 to the under against this Buffalo. Wait, these are all on the same team. Why am I skipping around? They're all on the same team. Matheson. Okay. So you're just attacking this whole team. I didn't realize they were all on the same team. All right. So we got Matheson against Buffalo, 3 out of his last 10, but over his last 10 regular season games, not against Buffalo. He's gone over this in 80% of his last 5, 70 over his last 10. Only 3 games where he didn't get at least 1 assist. Now his assist projection is pretty low at 0.41, so that is under 0.5. So that is actually closer to 0 than it is to 1. A little conflicting with the odds. The odds are in favor of the over, but the projections are definitely favoring the under. If you take a look at his point prop on other books, PointsBet has it at minus 120, minus 110, and you're getting the same exact odds over on BetMGM. So these are identical odds. I know that game log looks real good, but this is kind of a coin flip because you're really not seeing a whole lot of juice to either side. Numbers against Buffalo are not great. On the season, he is a 0.6 assists per game guy. So yeah, he does need 1. I don't know about this one. Throw it in a flex. I don't know if I'd risk a power play on this one. All right, let's talk NBA. We're moving in. Let's start with this Mo Wagner. So you say it's on the board. I just missed it. We'll go back and double check so I can include it in a screenshot. But for now, since we're on props.cash, let's just take a look at his points. I believe that's what we were going to look at. Minus 122 to the over, minus 104 to the under. 4 straight games of 7 or plus. He had this one little hiccup against Miami. Prior to that, he had 5 straight games of 7 or plus points. So that gives him a 90% hit rate in his last 10, 80% in his last 5. Projected for 8.82, round that up to 9. Even if he just got you 8, that's still over his prop of 6.5. Now, his head-to-head games, this is where you see a lot of points being scored. Gone over this in every single game but 1, and 3 games of 10, 11 plus. So double digit in 3 games for Mo Wagner. So there's a lot to like here. There's definitely lots to like here. You're getting favorable head-to-head matchup. You're getting a favorable game log, both 5 and 10. You're getting fairly decent odds, for you to consider the over on, and then your projection right here. In terms of additional odds, if you're looking to play this elsewhere, minus 120 on BetMGM, minus 115 on DraftKings. It's pretty much a coin flip on DraftKings. And then your FanDuel book is giving you minus 122, minus 104. That's what we're currently looking at. So I don't know if this one gets bumped. I don't see a lot of juice coming in on the over, but it really doesn't matter, because if a lot of people are playing this on Prizepicks and they realize that, they'll bump it up to 7. So this is the lowest it'll be. This is a pretty strong one to start with. Yeah, I think this one makes sense. Gotta like his matchup against Cleveland. He plays them really well. All right. Moving into who was the next play on the board? It was Wembanyama. We're going to look at Wembanyama's threes versus Sacramento. His threes have been in or around that. I mean, I think they've been at 1.5. I don't know if they've ever been bumped up to 2, like opened up at 2. But look, he's averaging basically 2 in every single game. Over his last 10, 1.9. Over his last 5, 2.4. Threes made. You already saw his game against Sacramento this season where he did give you 2 3-pointers made back in November. Projected for 1.92. Sacramento is amongst the bottom of the league in 3-point percentage per game. Almost bottom-ish of the league in terms of threes made. So this lines up really well with this projection of 1.5. Looking at him at that 1.92. Basically, it's 2. You round up to that. So this one looks good. Minus 130 to the over. This one could get bumped up to 2 at some point. Other books do have this Identical line at 1.5. But look at this juice. 135, 130, 130. It's going to get bumped. I think it'll get bumped. All right. Sengun. Rebounds. Got 8.5 rebounds for Alperen Sengun. Never have his fucking projections up here. Ever. Bullshit. All right. His numbers against Phoenix this season. Let's start. Not Phoenix. It is. I thought they were playing New Orleans. Did I pick the wrong game? I did. I knew that. I thought they were playing New Orleans. I thought I saw that on the schedule. Okay, here we go. I got the right one pulled up. Here. All right. So his numbers against New Orleans this season, he has 3 games played. He's gone over this in 2 out of 3, but back-to-back games. So his most recent games against New Orleans, he's gotten you 10 and 11. So he's averaging 10.5 rebounds in those 2 games. When you look at his last 10 games, he's been on a bit of a decline over his last 5. So he's averaging 7 rebounds in his last 5 games. Compare that to his overall 10, where he's averaging 9. So huge dip in production here for Sengun. Odds slightly in favor of the over at -128. Unfortunately, we cannot look at his projections because apparently there aren't any. So the next best thing we have is we look at the additional books we have here in terms of odds. You got BetMGM favoring the over at -125, Caesars favoring the over at -119, DraftKings -125, FanDuel -128. So all 4 of these books are favoring the over for Sengun. Tari Eason is out for this game, or according to this information here. So if Tari Eason is out, that is one less big in the front court today or tomorrow. So that should help his prospects. Obviously, Steven Adams is not playing this year, so he's on this list. But yeah, he's definitely out for the year. How messed up would that be if he got traded to Houston and he's like, oh, I can play now. I'm good. He just didn't want to play in Memphis. Sengun looks good. 8.5 rebounds. I was a little iffy at first with the odds not being a little bit more definitive for the over, but knowing that Tari Eason is out, at least as of now, he's out. I feel like that does help with his upside for this game against New Orleans. Also, 3 games played against New Orleans this season. He hooked it in 1 game and he went over in 2. So that one looks very strong for Sengun. Let's talk about Jaden Ivey, 16.5 points. I believe that was the last player prop on the list to dig into. So we'll take a look at his points. Let's scroll down here. We got it at 16.5 on Prizepicks. However, you're seeing it at 17.5 in other spots. The only other book, well, the only book that has it at 17.5 is FanDuel, but DraftKings has it at 16.5 -140. This is going to get bumped, everyone. If you want to play this line at 16.5, do it or stay away from it. I don't understand why you would wait for it to get bumped to play the over. That makes no sense. Play it now at 16.5 or just don't play it at all. Because this juice coming into the over on all 3 of these books, -135, -142, -145. I mean, the average is basically -140 across the board for this over. So if you want to make a case for it, let's pull up the actual current. Let's just pull up BetMGM. -135 to the over. He's gone over this in 4 straight games versus Indy, and that is 2 games this season. Over his last 10 games, he has hit this in 60% of his games, averaging 19. And then over his last 5 games, he's averaging 21 points. You are seeing a bit of a decline. Do not expect him to give you 37 points every single game. I don't think 23 is out of question here. He's a better player than 15 points. He's a damn better player than whatever this was. Also, we talk about this. We talked about this, I think Monday. Maybe it was Monday. When you look at the game log for Prizepicks, Uh, looks like they. Oh, he was not involved in any All-Star festivities. I thought he was in Rising Stars. Was he not in Rising Stars? Okay, so Prizepicks did fix it. So if you were on the stream on Monday and you saw that they were including the All-Star game, the Rising Stars challenge, all that bullshit was being lumped into their 5-game log. So it was making their game logs look really bad, or maybe really good depending on the player. But it's inaccurate because those games don't count towards regular season. So it looks like they cleaned it up, which is good. All right, so Ivy projected for 17 points. That's what you need from him today. The odds are in favor across the board. The matchup is good versus Indiana. Should be a fast-paced game. A bump in pace for the Pistons. This one looks strong. Play it at 16.5. Don't wait for it to get bumped. All right, just like that. 6 players up, 6 players down. We like the over Girage points. Matheson was not pulling up on Prizepicks. Oh, Matheson was pulling up on Prizepicks. It was the Armia not pulling up on Prizepicks. We got like the over on Jaden Ivey's 16.5 points. And we also like the over on Sengun and Wimby rebounds. Now, I believe I made a mistake. He is right there. That's on me, ladies and gentlemen. Even with glasses, I'm blind. So let's throw him in there. We're not going to look him up again on props.cash, but we'll include him in this next round of player props. When we screenshot these, we'll have him in there. That's a good pick, Alien. Nice. All right, we got Wimby. Westbrook over 3 assists. So you call him Westbroom Cutler? Good morning, by the way. I didn't wish you a good morning. I never heard that name for him, Westbroom, unless you hit the M by mistake. I've heard Westbrick, Russell Westbrook. That's a pretty popular one. Encore says 2 is risky. So are you talking about Armia? So okay, cool. Well, if it gets bumped down to 1.5, you guys know where it's kind of living. 1.52. All right, let's take a look at Kawhi Leonard. 9.5 rebounds and assists for the Claw. Got him in there. JR says, I'm going scores after a long break. Luka over his 30.5 points. AD over 25.5 points. And Banchero over 20.5 points. All right. So Luka got bumped up to 31. So I hope you got it in at 30.5 because I feel like a lot of his props got bumped over the last couple of days. AD. That's still up there. We'll take a look at that one. And then Banchero, 20.5. All right. Alien says Franz Wagner under his points goblin. I can't tell if you're serious or not because text doesn't detect tone. Let's Cutler says Isaiah Stewart. Where is he? Where did I see that? Oh, Isaiah Stewart. No, Isaiah Hartenstein. Over 17.5 PR. 76ers been weak against centers without Joel. Let's take a look at Mr. Hartenstein. Points and rebounds, was it? Okay. I tell you what, I'm going to take out the the Boncaro for now because I already got the AD in there from the same question. Okay, Cutler. I thought you were calling on Westbrook. I was like, I heard him called worse, you know? I was looking at Grady Dick over 1.5 3-pointers made and MPJ over 2.5. This is what I love. I'm pretty sure this happens in every sport. But I think it happens more so in the NBA. Oh, there's an E between the D and the Y. My bad. Every year you see guys mid-season, they emerge due to injuries, trades, these rookies, these whatever G leaguers, they come in and they become like pretty common in the player prop world. You don't really see it happening all that often in the NFL. In the MLB, you can see it happen, especially when you get a call up. But in the NBA, I feel like it's happening all the damn time. Like this kid at the beginning of the year, maybe if you're a Toronto Raptors fan, you were like, I know this guy, he just needs playing time. But to a lot of other people, probably never heard of this kid. And now he's on Prizepicks. I think you made it in the industry when you get your prop featured on Prizepicks. So got Grady Dick in there at 1.5 3-pointers made. Tools and smokes. What is going on? Tomorrow's Thursday. Y'all still picking up NBS? What's NBS? No bullshit. Let's see. Harden over 12.5 rebounds and assist. Or Harden over rebounds. What's going on, Kyle? Good morning. All right, we got 6 on the board. We got a lot of Clippers on this board. We'll look up Harden as well because we're looking up the Westbrook Leonard plays, and then we'll take a look at Harden in there as well. We already looked up Mo, and then we'll take a look at Davis, Hartenstein, and Grady Dick. All right, let's start over in let's start with Hartenstein. So this isn't the first time I've heard his name being mentioned and seen a prop for him. I think the one that I saw was his rebounds alone. Now we're looking at his points and rebounds, 118 to the over, 108 to the under. Last 5 games against Philly. Now, I think the only one that we need to really pay attention to is this one because this is the most recent one. This is from this season, and we know Embiid's been out for a while, so he is not getting that Embiid defense. So over his last 10 games, 19 rebounds and assists. Over his last 5, 23 rebounds and assists. Or excuse me, points and rebounds. 19 points and rebounds, 23 points and rebounds. These are really strong numbers. This one against Dallas, hit a snag. It's going to happen. He is projected for 18.38, so that is a smidge over his 17.5 player prop. Across the board, his lines are 17.5 across the books. The odds are pretty much the same. I mean, you're seeing similar odds across the industry on these other sites. I don't know if this one gets bumped. I don't think it gets bumped. I don't think there's enough there to bump it, but I think it's a good spot. It's a good observation without Joel Embiid. We've seen, I don't know if we can look up points and rebounds. Yes. So centers against, pretty much every one of these games, I can keep scrolling. I think every one of these games, has been without Joel Embiid. So let's look at some of these numbers from these centers. 36 points and rebounds from Bam. Jared Allen gets you 31. 11 from Bruno Fernando. Did he start that game? He got a lot of playing time that game. I think that was the game that we were looking at Jalen Johnson's dunks. Okongwu gets it. Looney got it. Again, look, we get a lot of names on this list that aren't household names that are crushing PR. Isaiah Hartenstein is a pretty good player, and he's a pretty good rebounder. So giving him this matchup without Embiid, I think this is a good one. So you like the over on that one? That one makes sense to me. Let's talk about Grady Dick's three-pointers made as the Raptors host the Brooklyn Nets. Let's scroll down here. Should be at the bottom. All right. So over his last 5 games, these are incredible numbers. 2, 2, 3, 4, and 1. So Indiana gave him a little bit of a hiccup there. Now over his last 10 games, it's kind of a split here, right? Like those first 5 games of this game log, 2 out of 5 games, but the next 5 are completely different story here. Really good numbers. The odds are just kind of there. They're not in favor of any side. So they're pretty flat. I mean, look at his projection. He is just projected for 1.42. So that's closer to 1 than it is to 2. Odds across the industry are also pretty much identical. You're getting identical numbers to each side, whether it's 113, 115, 115. Caesars has it slightly favored to the under here. That's a little odd because Brooklyn is allowing a ton of production from 3 in percentage and 3-pointers made. Maybe there's something up with his minutes. Maybe there's something up with his rotation. I don't know. We could take a look at his minutes played. Like, how far do we have to scroll down? There we go. Over his last 5 games, he's averaging 20 minutes. In those 20 minutes, he's attempting 6 shots. He's making 4 of them. So pretty good percentage. And then out of those shots, he's attempting 4 3-pointers. He's making 50% of those. So in order for him to hit the over on this one, he has to make 2 out of 4, which he's done pretty frequently. But that's probably why these odds aren't in favor of the over, just because his shot volume is so low. So he has to be extremely accurate with this. But the matchup is there for him. It's a pretty good matchup. All right, let's talk about the Clippers. We got 3 Clippers. Scratch that. Let's talk about AD first, because we'll end it on the Clippers. So we have three players from that team to talk about. Anthony Davis. So we're going to look at his points. We want to attack the points coming off the break. One thing to keep in mind, this is the healthiest these players will be for the rest of the year. They'll never be healthier for the rest of the year. They're not going to get healthier as the year goes on. This is it. They're all coming off a 1-week break. Those who didn't play in the All-Star game got extra time off. So if you're going to attack player props, points, PRA, and fantasy score, you're probably going to find them at a lower line than they were before the break, and you're going to get a healthier version of that player. So that's it. It's all downhill from here. They'll just get more injured as the year goes on, or get more beat up as the year goes on. All right, last 5 games, 3 out of 5 games. Last 10 games, 50% hit rate. He's averaging 25 in his last 10, 27 in his last 5. Now, his games versus Golden State haven't really been all that good. 4 out of his last 10 games versus Golden State, he has not gone over in a lot of these games, but he is averaging 23 in those games. Last game against Golden State, he did put up 29 points. Not the best numbers against Golden State. If you know why, if you have a theory as to why those numbers are low, throw it in the chat. He is projected for 26 points today, so that does give you the over on that one. So you're getting a pretty favorable matchup against a team that does allow a ton of points per game. You're also getting a positive projection. You're getting flat odds, so you can go either way with this one. And then you're going to see different odds across the industry. So DraftKings has this at -140, but you're also getting it at a lower line at 24.5. BetMGM has it at 26.5, so I would stay away from that one. Caesars also has it at 24. FanDuel is the only one that has it at 25. So yeah, I think this one's in play. Are we considering AD a center or power forward? Center? Centers versus Golden State have not fared all that well, although there's really not a big name on this list until you get, I don't even want to call Miles Turner a big name, but he's the biggest name on this list, right? Kessler, Plumlee, Zubac. I don't want to disrespect Zubac like that, but Kessler, again, Nurkic, Eubanks, Bol, Miles Turner. I mean, not until we get down to Claxton and the Hawks front court are you seeing some positive numbers here versus the Golden State Warriors. So they've done a fairly good job at containing points versus bigs, but again, they're not facing Anthony Davis every game, and he did put up 29 against them last game. Clippers, we got, first off, we'll go Westbrook assist at 3.5. Positive odds to the over, slight juice to the under, not too much. His head-to-head games versus OKC. If you believe in the narrative and you think there's a chip on his shoulder, there might be. I don't feel like Westbrook needs a reason to play hard. I think he just does it anyway. He just plays hard no matter what the game is. So he's probably I bet he's a beast of a Uno player. I bet he gets all the draw fours. 4 assists in back-to-back games versus the Thunder. Both of those games are this season. So these are the games that we're paying more attention to. Now, over his last 10 games, he has not gone over this in more than 50%. And then over his last 5, a little worse, 40% hit rate right here. Matchup is fairly decent on paper, and a projection is for 4 assists for Russell Westbrook. 3.5 across the board. The best odds you're finding are probably going to be on FanDuel, -125, followed by Caesars at -127, but you're also getting -108 to the under here. So I don't think this one gets bumped up. 3.5 is a pretty solid number. Great history against the Thunder. He's close, right? In a lot of these games, he's hooking it. 1, 2, 3 games, he's hooked it. So just one more shot made from his teammate gets him over here. Kawhi Leonard, 9.5 rebounds and assists. -115 to the over, -111 to the under. 50% over his last 10, averaging 10, and then 40% over his last 5, averaging 9. Did he take it easy against the Minnesota Timberwolves in terms of minutes? I mean, he did play slightly fewer minutes in that game, but it wasn't a big drop off. 30 minutes. It's on the lower side. Head-to-head against the Thunder, one game this year, he had 12. The other 2 games were last season, 11 and 12. So still pretty good history against this team. He is projected for just 9.3 rebounds and assists. So this is right at the hook. He obviously can't get 9.3 rebounds and assists. So you would either round this up or down, closer to 9 than it is to 10. But based off his numbers against the Thunder, I would consider that my push off the fence. If you're on the fence, I would use these game logs versus the Thunder as that little nudge off the fence. I would like to see better numbers in terms of the odds, but that is what they are across the industry. Pretty flat across the board. Not going to get too much juice to either side. But I think that one's in play. We're going to take a look at James Harden's rebounds, and I believe want to take a look at his rebounds and assists. So minus 125 to the over, 102 to the under. Last game against the Thunder, didn't get it done. First game against them, he did get it done. Last 10 games, he's gone over this line in 70%, 14 rebounds and assists, 14 rebounds and assists over his last 5 with a 60% hit rate. Projected for just 13 today. So that's short by 1. He needs 14 to get the over on this one. And then your odds down here. If DraftKings, Caesars, and BetMGM all have this at 12.5. If you have access to sports books, I don't see why you would not play it over there before playing it on Prizepicks. These are by far the better lines. But if you can only play Pick'em site, then 13.5 is still getting good odds, just not these kind of odds. If you're interested in just his rebounds tomorrow, 5.5 rebounds, is that really what it is? I just want to confirm. Rebounds are not on the board, so well, fuck. His rebounds and assists are not on the board. Well, then let's just look at all his damn props. Points are coming in pretty strong. 16.5. He's gone over this in 4 out of his last 5 games. 60% over his last 10. Head-to-head against the Thunder. He didn't get it done in one game, got it done in the other. Better odds for his points. Take a look at his PRA. I'm just going to take a look at a couple of props that are on Prizepicks, like his points, his PRA at 30.5, and then his points and rebounds at 21.5. So similar results here with his PRA, minus 125 to the over. Similar hit rate, 50 and 60% over these 2 time frames. 32 over his last 10, 35 over his last 5. Projection is 30.8. So rate basically 31 he's projected for. None of his props are pulling in strong odds. So you want to see a little better numbers with his odds, but that is what it is right now. Take a look at his points and rebounds. I decided his points and rebounds because they're just lower. They're at 21.5 on Prizepicks, while his points and assists are at 24.5. And James Harden is a pretty strong rebounder, so it's not like you're getting a lower line because he doesn't rebound well. He does. So I think this is the better line, the more favorable one to attack. He's gone over this in 50 over his last 10, 60 last 5 head-to-head games with the Thunder. Again, 1-1 split this season. He is projected for 24 points and rebounds today. So points and rebounds, probably my favorite, followed by his points and then just his PRA. Those 3 are probably the top for James Harden. All right. 6 up and 6 down. So we like a lot of Clippers today. Russell over his assists, Kawhi over his rebounds and assists. I keep saying today, tomorrow, but nonetheless, NBA. That was incorrect. Hold on. Here we go. Anthony Davis over points. I think my favorite out of all these was the Hartenstein rebounds and points and rebounds, because we're getting a lot of good data points, but just looking at what the other centers have done versus the 76ers, and you're not even looking at household names. And you're looking at reserves, backups that are crushing. So I think Hartenstein's in a good spot. Unless Tibbs cock blocks him with freaking, Precious Achua or some weird rotation change like that, Hartenstein's in a good spot to go over his lines. All right, let's do a few more, and then we're going to bring the stream to an end. If you have a play of the day, or if you have a play for tomorrow, throw it in the chat. We'll book it now because, lines will be bumped up. haven't gone back to Donovan Mitchell. We talked about his assist on Monday. His assists are still there at 5.5. So that one has not been moved. RJ Barrett, we looked at his 9.5 rebounds and assists. That's also still there at 9.5. So maybe these won't get bumped up. What about Kevin Durant? We talked about Kevin Durant yesterday. His PRA definitely, was it his PRA that we were looking at? That definitely got bumped up. That definitely got bumped up. All right, let's take a look. I just want to make sure I'm getting all these in order here. $40 of you on the live stream. Appreciate y'all being here. Truly, truly means a ton. Thank you so much. Hit that like button if it's not too much trouble to ask. 3 Kings, 33 Kings, tough. Is it 33 or 3-3? Tell me how to present that name of yours so I don't get it wrong. But he says, they Precious is the better play. So Isaiah is a game time decision now, or is a game time decision. We can finally start looking at injury reports. Injury reports have not been up and available to us over the last couple of days, from what I've seen. But we can start actually looking at injury report as we get closer to tip off, because more news is coming out. Although I can't find anything right now, so it's all good. But if he's a game time decision, then obviously Precious is in play for sure. Ruben, you think Hartenstein's playing time is scary? Yeah, it's the Tibbs rotations. All right, so this is the first one I've seen. Let's throw up a couple more. And like I mentioned, if you all have a play of the day, either for today or for tomorrow, throw it in the chat. Liking the over, Lauri Markkanen, 10.5 rebounds and assists. Okay. Kyle says, waiting on Buddy Hield points to come out because he's been on fire lately. We talked about this in the previous live stream before the break, just how good of a fit Shavano is in Philadelphia. He's not up. Yeah, what I was thinking also is he's kind of like the poor man James Harden. I think this is the type of production they wanted from James Harden. And Buddy Hield doesn't need the ball in his hands all the time. It's a really good fit for them. I wonder if this is kind of what they wanted the whole time with Harden. And I don't think you're getting a lot of the locker room shit, press conference shit, media making things into a big deal with Buddy Hield. It took them a few seasons, but they may have found their guy to complement Embiid the way they need. So when Embiid comes back and you have a healthy Embiid and a Maxey there, and you have that shot from the outside in Shavano, I'm gonna keep calling him that. That might be a fun offense to watch. All right, so yeah, Buddy Hield's not on the board. Let's move in. So talked about Donovan Mitchell's assist at 5.5. Now we're looking at his points at 26.5. Let's see. Sixo says Dante DiVincenzo over assist. Oh man, I'm so heated. The last time I played him, I had a nice 2-pick power. It was the Dante DiVincenzo over rebounds and the Tatum Cam Thomas assist prop. Oh, that would have hit. It was such a good line for him. 3.5 assists is what we're looking at today, though. Carrie Young says the PRA got bumped for KD. I hope you played it, Carrie. Did you get it yesterday? I think we were talking about it at 36.5. Wasn't it 36.5? Something like that. Damn, it got bumped up almost 2. D Johnson, what's going on? Good morning. Welcome in. I think Jaden Ivey's threes at 1.5 is a near lock with his increased opportunities. Let's take a look at his threes, because we did look at his points and we did like his points. So what about this Chris? I see Chris Dunn, but there's another one up here. Kyle Berg says Harden's rebounds are over 4.5 on DK. I don't think Prizepicks is going to bring him back at 4.5 for a while. He was crushing that shit. Cutler. So Cutler brought up blocks and steals for Nick Richards. I don't know why I always do this scroll thing when I can just search name. Saves so much time. Chris Dunn over, what was it? Chris Dunn over 2.5 rebounds. Where you playing it at, Kyle? Is that on DraftKings? That's the only one popping up on Prizepicks right now, is his assist, which I know this looks terrible, but we talk about that positive regression. This could be one to look at. Cutler says Tim Hardaway over 6 3-point attempts on Dabble. What's it on Prizepicks? I don't think it's up on Prizepicks. No. Okay. That seems like a pretty... I mean, there's one thing he's going to do. He's going to shoot from 3. We know that. Kyle Burke said, yeah, Durant was at 37.5 PRA yesterday. It was at 37.5 during the stream. So we saw it at 37.5. I don't know why I thought it was at 36.5. Maybe I was just wishfully thinking. All right, we got Ivy up there, D. Kyle Berg says on Outlier is showing Buddy Hield at over 17.5 points. If y'all want to take a look at Buddy Hield over on .cash, just see like what the other books have it, so you can kind of maybe guess what it's going to be on Prizepicks, we can do that. JR says, anybody playing NBA Season 2, Luka over 4.5 40-point games? I'm going to commit to at least 30, 40 minutes today. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to dig through some NBA Season 2 props. And I'm going to share those in the Discord. They are just so easy to overlook. But because they're not happening now, you don't get like the instant payout because you got to wait. You know, you might have to wait. I'm going to commit to that today because there are still some good lines up there that we can attack. I know. Jason Tatum over 13.5 rebounds and assists. So got bumped up to 14. Ruben says Donovan has burned me. He's on my turd list. Kerry got it at 37.5. All right, cool. So I'm tripping. I saw it for 30. I don't know why I saw it 36.5. The One Franchise. Is that how you say it? The One Franchise. What's going on? Welcome into the stream. John Collins over 10.5 rebounds and assists. I have not seen you here before. Welcome. I appreciate you being here. We're going to take a look at that prop for you as a welcome to the chat. Boom. All right. These will be the last 6 player props we talk about today. So we got Markkanen, Donovan, Dante, Jaden Ivey, Nick Richards, and John Collins. Any of these in the same game that we can just pool together? Yes, Nick Richards, Collins, and Larry. And then we'll go Mitchell and Dante and Ivy. Okay, so let's do it. Last round of player props. I appreciate y'all being here. Go ahead and start throwing your plays of the day in the chat if you have any. It doesn't have to be for today. It can be for tomorrow. If you want to lock in some value, you want to share that with everybody, go ahead and do that in the chat. And what I do, if you're new here, is I take all your plays of the day, I throw them in my Discord, And that way you can reference those whenever you want. I'll also share the screenshots of all the previous player props that we broke down in today's stream. You can take a look at those. Every player prop that we put in the stream has been broken down in live. Every player prop we put in the Discord has been broken down in the live stream. So all the research has been done. So you can feel a little bit more confident that these have already been looked at through the lenses of the chat here. 26.5 points for Donovan Mitchell is our first prop over on props.cash. We're getting minus 104 to the over, minus 102, minus 122 to the under. I think I need to drink some water here. Last 10 games, he's averaging 31 points. Last 5, 30 points. In his games versus the Magic, back-to-back games this season of fewer than 26, so 25 and 22. First game of the season versus the Magic this season, 35 points. So you know he can get it done. Is he a better player at home? These two games were on the road in Orlando, but at home against the Magic, fairly better odds. I'm curious. Let's take a look at, okay, so these are his last 10 games at home. All of these are this season. 80% hit rate versus 80% hit rate. So yeah, maybe he just had two bad games against them the last couple of times out. But the one game he did go over against the Magic, it was at home. And this game is being played in Cleveland. So you got that going for you. Matchup on paper is not good, but we talk about this all the time. Matchups are not played on paper. They're played on the court. So no matter how scary a matchup is, we all know shit happens. Especially if a player just performs better against a certain team. Doesn't matter how good they are. We've seen that front court in Minnesota get exploited a few different times this season. Supposed to be the scariest matchup in the NBA and wasn't so scary those games. So Mitchell projected for 28 points today. We take a look at his odds across the industry. You're getting similar odds across all the books. DraftKings is the only one. DraftKings and Caesars have this at 25.5 with minus 131 to minus 135 odds for the over. If you have access to sports books, I would recommend looking there first before you play the higher line on Prizepicks. If you are playing on a pick'em site where you can adjust the lines, Dabble, I think Chalkboard, you can find this on Parlay Play. If it'll let you adjust the line to 25.5, that is a very good play. But at 26.5, I think it's a little riskier, but he's a scary dude to take the under on. I'm going to put him in that Sabonis category of you either take the over on it or you just leave it alone. All right, so Mitchell, done. Let's take a quick look at Jaden Ivey's threes because we did look at his points earlier today in the stream, but we didn't break it down in terms of how he's scoring those points. Now, over his last 10 games, he's gone over this line in 80%. He's averaging 3 3-pointers in each game, largely due to this production here. The rest of the games, 3, 2. But that's what you need. His matchup today, we already talked about points allowed by the Indiana Pacers. We didn't take a look at 3-point percentage and 3-pointers. They are the top team in the NBA at defending threes. They're only allowing 11 per game. That sounds very impressive. However, if you break down all these numbers and if you look at the difference between teams, there is like 0.5 difference between the top team in the NBA and the 5th, 6th team in the NBA. Like, the worst team in the NBA allows 13.8 3-pointers made. 3 extra 3-pointers made. So saying you're the top team at defending the 3 sounds really good, but when you break it down, they're all separated by such small numbers. He is projected for 2 today. So you got the The game log's looking good. You got the projections looking good. The odds are pretty similar across the board. Talked about his playing time, his minutes increasing. Outside of that Phoenix game, he has been upwards of 30 minutes in every single game over his last 10 games. That LA game was a blowout, right? That was a huge blowout. So he saw a reduced run here. Then they got blown out against the Suns, I believe, or no, probably. That's why you're looking at less than 15 minutes here. I don't mind this one. If you like his points, he's shooting a lot of threes, or he's making a fair amount of threes. You can look at that as a compliment to his points. Maybe even double down on his points and play one of those in 2 slips. All right, let's take a look at Donte DiVincenzo's assist, and then we'll head on over to the Utah and Charlotte game, and then we'll wrap it up. Appreciate y'all being here as always. If you're checking this out on the replay, that's dope. That's awesome. Appreciate you checking this out on the replay. Hit that like button if you haven't done so already. I thought those were his assists at first. It's like, damn, minus 156 to the under. Why are you looking at his assist? There we go. 3.5. So minus 128 to the under on this one. So heavier juice coming in for the under. Back-to-back games of 4. Houston and Indiana. So last 5 games, 80%. Last 10 games, 70%. Head-to-head games versus the Philadelphia 76ers. 1 out of 3 games. 1 game to look at this season. Put up 3 assists. Now, Philly's defense is good, but a lot of these numbers are with Embiid in the lineup. I'm sure these have been adjusted over the last couple of weeks without him in the lineup. But a lot of this has the Embiid stamp on it. So it's hard to look at these, especially if you're watching the games. You already know what Philly is allowing per game without Embiid in there. All his projections are bad. 3.4. I mean, everything is projected for the under for Donte DiVincenzo. I don't know why. If you have any insight over that, throw it in the chat, because I don't know why. The matchup is good. Randall's still out, correct? Randall's still out. You have Hartenstein questionable. You have Robin. Like, all the same dudes are still out. So I don't see his minutes or his playing time being cut back. Yeah, I don't know why these projections are so low. I'd take a shot on this in a flex. I would throw this in the flex because the odds are pretty bad, but I feel like there's something going on with his projections. I don't think those are accurate. I'm not buying into that. I'm more so buying into this, and I'm buying into the fact that Philly's defense is just not the same without Embiid. All right, last 3 player props of the stream. We're going to head down to the Utah and Charlotte game. We're going to start things off with this Lauri Markkanen rebounds and assists. This one is currently sitting at 10.5 over on Prizepicks, and that's what we're seeing it on props.cash. Minus 130 to the over, plus 102 to the under. 17 in his last game against Golden State. 3 games straight. You kind of saw this coming. This can't go on for long. Boom. Explosion. Took him a little longer. You look at the last 2 times where he didn't go over. The very next game he goes over. So matchup against Charlotte is about as good as it gets. So head-to-head games with the Hornets. He does have 1 this season. He did rack up 15 rebounds and assists. If you look at his projection today, he is projected for 11 rebounds and assists. The matchup on paper is fantastic for Lauri Markkanen. This one is strong. Odds across the industry, you're seeing favorable odds no matter where you well, Caesar's the only one that's giving you flat odds at minus 117 to either side. BetMGM is pretty in favor of the over. Your best odds are going to be on FanDuel at minus 130, DraftKings minus 120. Still, it could be worse. It could be flipped. It could be minus 110 and minus 120. It's possible this one gets bumped up to 11. We've seen his props get bumped up before. This one looks strong. Let's take a look at, believe it was Nick Richards on the other side. We're looking at his blocks and steals. All right. Pretty flat odds at 117 to both sides, minus 117 to both sides. Nick Richards over his last 10 games has not gone over this very many times. He's gotten you one, but not two very often. His head-to-head games with the Jazz, however, bit of a different story here. 2 games last season, averaging 4 steals and blocks in both of those games. And in this game, this season, 4. So he's literally averaging 4 across the board. 8 divided by 2. There's your 4 for each game, and there's 4. So 4 is his magic number. He is projected tomorrow, for 1.56 steals and blocks. So that is slightly over. That's pretty good over there. Very rarely will you see a steal and block prop have a huge discrepancy. Where like you see his PRA 20.5, but he's projected for 24. Usually you'll see steals and blocks be like within 1, which is still a huge gap if you think about it for that category. Yeah, I like this one. It might be a little risky just because steals and blocks aren't guaranteed, not as much of a guarantee, but his numbers against Utah are very good. All right, let's take a look at this John Collins for our last player prop on the board for the franchise, the one franchise. 10.5 rebounds and assists, getting positive odds to the over, baby juice to the under, little apple juice to the under. Numbers against Charlotte, surprisingly, again, so we talk about this all the time. The line that you see today is not what it was when these games were played. So it's possible. Well, let's look at this game. It's possible that this line back in January was 8.5, 9.5, which he goes over with 10. But as the line moves, as the season goes, it will impact the hit rate. So it's very possible he went over that game. But for this current line, it's showing he did not, if that makes sense. 4 straight games of 12 plus rebounds and assists. Over his last 10, he's gone over in 70% of the games, averaging 12 and 13 over his last 5. Similar matchup, or excuse me, identical matchups to what we saw for Lauri Markkanen. Charlotte's defense doesn't change based off the player. It is hemorrhaging production across the board. His rebounds and assists, 11.5. That is well over 10.5. I think this one looks good. You can also look to his PR, which has been something we've played in the past. Or you can just look to his straight points at 14.5. So there's John Collins. Boom. 6 up, 6 down to round out the live stream today. Screenshot these, throwing these over in the Discord. Did we like the over on Dante's? Yeah, we did. I said we would take a shot on that one because the matchup is there. A lot of overs today. I think overs are in play for Thursday more than they normally would be because you're looking at 100% across the board, blank slate, everyone coming back from a break. You should be rested. It should be good to go. hopefully we see some high scoring games and not some blowouts. But I think we see some overs hit on Thursday, more than we typically see. And then as the season progresses, we'll start to see some unders. But there you go. Round 3. That was 3 rounds of player props that we broke down in today's live stream. I know I missed a lot of conversation in the chat. Let me just try to catch up. Exactly. They got no excuses, Cutler. Fresh legs. Cutler says his player of the day is Jared McCain. 23.5. This kid's been tough for a while now. Jared McCain. Let me go ahead and pull up a blank document. We're going to add in Jared McCain. That is the first play of the day that I see. I'll scroll up. You have another one for Thursday. Westbrook over his assist. I wish I could just copy and paste out of the chat, but every time I click on it, it'll pull it up on the screen. All right. Over 3.5 assist. Drew over rebounds. You really like that Nick Richards play. All right. It was good. It was solid play. And Nick Richards over 1.5 BS. They're watching the channel. Ivy got bumped as I was making a slip. Son of a bitch. OG is out till March. Yes, I don't know why Dante wasn't getting better odds. OG's out till March. Oh, did Bojan Bogdanovic play? Has he played for the Knicks? Has he suited up for the Knicks? Maybe that's why. Maybe with all the able bodies or the new faces, maybe that's why his odds weren't getting better numbers. Kevin Park, what is going on? Good morning. How about Banchero over points? Real quick. Let's take a look at Banchero's points. 20.5 over on Prizepicks. I know that it's a lower line on Prizepicks. Basically, it's 20.5 in 3 different books. FanDuel is the only one that has it at 20.5, 21.5, which tells you this will probably get bumped up at some point to 21, and then finally maybe 21.5. But his back-to-back games of 23 and 36 look good for you. If you like the over on this one, 3 out of his last 5, 7 out of his last 10. Much better start to this block of games than how it ended. So this is great, but then he had this little lull here. 4 straight games, so slightly better hit rate in those first 5 games than the last 5 games. Matchup on paper, we talk about that all the time. Looks daunting, but the games played on the court. Projected for 26 points versus the Cavaliers over his last 6 games. He has only gone over this in 3. 1 game this year with 42 points. The other 2 games, he hooked it at 20. And he went well under with 18. It's possible that this game against the Cavs, back on the 11th of December, it's possible that his game, his point prop was 19.5. It's possible, maybe lower. So definitely, it does. See how that changes by just dropping it 1. So all this does is fluctuate based off the current day's prop. So it makes it look bad, worse than it is, better than it is. So 20. He definitely hooked it or he went over. I think his points are in play. I'd love his projections here. I like the fact that he is rested and he has that 40 point upside. So now am I like rushing to throw this in a slip? No. I would be more on his assist, just because we already know the wagon that is tied to his assist, and now we're getting it at the lowest line that we've seen in over 2 weeks, 3 weeks for his assist. I don't think you can go wrong with his points or assists, but if I flip a coin, I'm hoping it lands on the assist, because this to me speaks volumes. The consistency speaks volumes to me. Projections all look good. So it's like pick your poison. Which one do you want to roll with? He's going over a lot of these props versus Cleveland. All right, so let me make sure I didn't miss any of the player props, or excuse me, any questions before we head out. Ruben, you can find the list when I throw them in the Discord. So I'm screenshotting them now, and then after the stream is done, I'll throw them in the Discord, and then you can see every player prop that we talked about on the stream, and then you can just kind of play what you want based off those screenshots. Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali Wagner over 6.5. All right. I remember when he played in LA, I mean, he was pretty much an unknown, and everybody was calling him Maurice Wagner. And he finally had to come out and tell people, like, that's not my name. I think he's of German descent, Dutch or German descent. So he's like, that's not my name. I'm sure it's not the first time he heard that. All right, so plays of the day. We got a few more than we had yesterday. So we got Jared McCain, 23.5 points over. Westbrook, 3.5 assists over. Drew Holiday over rebounds. Nick Richards over his blocks and steals. And Mo Wagner over 6.5 points. So everyone except the Jared McCain prop is for tomorrow. That's fine. If you want to lock this value in now and avoid some bumps, you can do that. Also, keep in mind, make sure, and this goes for me, make sure you play that Jokic promo. It's a taco. Basically, it's a taco prop. Play it. You get $25 on it. Split up your entries. Play a couple of flex. Put 15 on a power. Lock in that value. Build your bankroll. If you can build your bankroll with this and your $92 in promo funds, that's just more money that you don't have to play out of your own pocket. It's that easy. Don't forget. I'm going to remind myself to not forget to play that damn prop. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to this portion of the stream where it is time to call it a day. I appreciate everybody being here. As always, making the chat fun, interactive. We're back. We got to get through today, and then tomorrow, NBA is back. We are ready to roll for the rest of the year. I'm going to sit down. Here's my commitment to you and the stream and the Discord. I'm sitting down today. I'm going to look at season 2 props. I'm going to try to figure out at least 2 that I want to work with, maybe even pair it up with the Jokic promo, but I'll put those in the Discord. I'll share my slip or slips today as well in the Discord, and as well as the screenshots and your plays of the day. All that will be shared in the Discord. If you want to join the Discord, find the link in the stream description. It's always there. It'll always be there for you to use. Appreciate y'all being here again. 31 viewers left on the stream. I appreciate the time you take to watch this. Hit that like button on your way out if you didn't do it on your way in. Consider subbing up, dropping a like, and as I always say, hope all your player props respect the damn coin. We are back tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. NBA player prop live stream. Until that live stream, wish you the best of luck, and Chavez is out.